I'm just checking my makeup. It's better than killing a baby.
Just again, it's so cold and glazing. You're a mom, and it made me love it and begin again. It made me love it and begin again. You made me love it and begin again.
Hello, sinners. My name is Alice Sin, and welcome to Alice's Shelf. Today, we'll be talking a little about another postmodern short story called Popular Mechanics. And this short story also has a trait from postmodernism that I kind of forgot to mention in the last video, which is the reference to other pieces of literature. But I'll let you guys figure that out. Let's talk about Popular Mechanics. So this is a really short story, and we don't get a lot from it. So we need to dig and find out what is actually happening, and especially what has actually happened in the end. So we have this couple, and this couple is fighting, and it's like the end, final fight. And then the guy's like throwing his shit on his luggage and ready to leave. And then he gets a portrait of a baby. And the wife's like, bitch, you're not having the portrait. And he's like, oh, girl. So he goes and he gets the actual baby. And he's like, you know what? I'm taking the kid. And the wife's like, oh, bitch, you're not. The kid's staying with me. And he's like, no, bitch, the baby's coming with me. So she pulls and he holds it. So he pulls and she holds it. And they keep on pulling and the baby starts to cry. Eventually, they break a flower pot that was on the stove. And they keep on pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And like that, the matter was solved. Okay, I'll explain it. So, first of all, what we have is two main characters. And we know that they are breaking up. It's the end, and they have a child. And at first, we are led to believe that they really care about this child, so much so that they want to keep the baby, right? The whole fight is about who's keeping the baby. But do they actually care that much about the baby? We shall see. First of all, it's important to realize the popular mechanics of it. Joke. That's the title of the story. And here's how this is important. We have two words, and both of them are deeply connected to our plot. Mechanics, because this is all very mechanical. It feels inhumane. So much so that we have archetypes. We don't even have names for our protagonists. We have diction, which is word choice. That's very specific to the idea of mechanics. The last line, in this manner, the issue was decided. Look how inhumane that sounds. You know, the issue, we're talking about a baby, and in this manner, you know? So we are dehumanizing our characters. However, it's not only mechanics, but it's popular mechanics. And this is connected to the archetypes as well, because the protagonist is telling us that this happens a lot. You know, like couples do that all the time. And what happens to the children is also popular. That's what we have all been dealing with. I mean, throw the first rock, the one who has no mommy or daddy issues. I'm a drag queen. This story also has another very important characteristic of postmodernism that I also didn't mention last video, which is minimalism. We don't get a lot of information on it. The information that goes beyond these characters or the place where they are is that the snow is melting and it's dark. That's all we know. And it also helps set mood because the snow is melting, it's cold. And also there's change happening, as in the story. And it's dark. You know, we're setting a whole tone for the story. And that's really, really, really important. Because it's so simple. You know, it's not a lot. But from the top, we know how the mood of the story is gonna go. Then they break a flower pot. And that is like the symbol of the story, the flower pot. And here there are thousand explanations for what the flower pot can mean. But a simple one is that that's a beautiful thing, you know, and when you're in a relationship, you build things, hopefully beautiful things. I mean, we have all been in a relationship that we haven't built anything beautiful, only bad things, right? Not only me, right? Please say no. But the flower pot is a beautiful thing and it just breaks and they ignore it. Like they ignore the fact that the baby starts to cry. And this is really important because that's the moment in which we realize they don't actually care about the child. It's all about who's in control, who has the power, who gets to keep it. Not him, not her, it. And remember I began this video talking about references to other pieces of literature? This is a reference to the story of King Solomon in the Bible. I hope it's in the Bible. I'm an atheist, give me a break. But the story is that these two women are claiming, this is my son. And King Solomon is like, okay, girl, so who's the actual mother? And they're like, I'm the mother. No, bitch, I'm the mother. No, bitch, I'm the mother. And then King Solomon says, you know what? I have a solution. We get the baby, we rip it apart, and we give each half to one of the moms. Yay, the problem solved. And then one of the women's like, no. And the other woman's like, oh, see? She's not the real mother. She doesn't even want him. And King Solomon gives it to the woman who said no, because it was more important for her that the baby would be okay, even if not with her. Whereas the other woman only wanted the child as a possession. So, what happens in the end of Popular Mechanics? Exactly, they push and push and push and push and rip the baby apart. So we have a 2-page short story about a baby being killed. Postmodernism! Yay! Remember I told you about 2 world wars and how everyone was like, oh, let's be hopeless. Life is worthless. I hate everything. I hope I die. The baby dead. Well, this was Popular Mechanics. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to come by next week and watch our newest video from the Curious Room. We'll be talking a little about the Company of the Wolves, and that's gonna be super fun. I'll see you next week, and remember, life is a sin.